that are like woke and like are fucking stupid rule that country now. That's like the majority ruling party, and they're having so many problems because of it.
Yep. I don't know about
And
that.
then also, like, they stood up the European Union at literally the worst time. They stood up the European Union when they were in a fucking deficit. So, like, I don't understand what their fucking plan was. They stood that shit up. Then none of the countries that joined had any money to sustain themselves. Then they tried to switch everybody's fucking currency to the fucking euro, and they were like, "No, dude, like, no, we need to maintain our sovereign currency." So that fucking fucked it up.
Aren't they the same motherfuckers that said, "Oh, we can help fucking Ukraine," only to find out that they do not have money to help Ukraine?
They are helping Ukraine though. They're just going bankrupt doing it.
And I remember the freaking people of England were like, "Stop, bro! Don't do that. You're gonna fucking put us in debt." And
They are in
They
debt.
don't want to listen, and they're in debt now.
I mean, the progressive mindset is fucking like wanted or whatever, but you gotta like be careful with being progressive. Especially like trying to be progressive in times where like you don't have the funds or the money to back up being progressive is like the issue.
Exactly.
Like, cause they didn't have, when they were trying to like be a forward thinking government, there's nothing wrong with being a forward thinking government. The issue that the people were having is like, dude, like we don't have the fucking money to do that. Their economy, quite frankly, isn't doing good and probably won't do good for a while. Like and I think like that's where people like, there's nothing wrong with being Republican or conservative. There's nothing wrong with being liberal. It's when people take that shit too far. Like when it becomes from a state of radicalism instead of like actually improving like what you're gonna be, then that's fucking crazy.
This is the thing that people don't understand. Progressive and liberal are literally basically just like balance. They balance each other. That's why the two decisions are always different. They actually just balance each other as long as you agree not perfectly, but as long as you can come to a common agreement like, hey, we're going to agree to this, we're going to agree to this, we think this makes common sense, we're going to go ahead and say yes.
Ain't no fucking way. I hate that people do that. He literally just played the fucking wall, bro. God damn, it's so annoying. But what were you saying?
But what I was saying is that, like, everything is so radicalized now, especially on the left side, that anybody... That
left and right.
Left and right. I mainly say left because...
No, it's left and right because... It's the same thing with right. It's the same thing with conservatives too. Like if you don't agree with certain, a lot of conservatives are anti-Semitic now, and I don't know where the fuck that shit came from. Why people think that Israel has the power to rule the world, but a lot of conservatives are
anti-Semitic. Hell no.
Yes, a lot of them are. A lot of them are. All the popular conservative influencers like Candace Owens. What's his name?
I thought Candace Owens didn't like Jews.
Nick Fuentes, they're all anti-Semitic. That's what anti-Semitic means.
Oh, they don't like the Jews?
Yes, that's literally what it means. They do not like Jews. They think that the Jews are fucking running some type of shadow government and they're using their power to influence the United States politics and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And they're the master race and that's why Charlie Kirk got killed. Tucker Carlson, all of them believe that shit. And it's like, bro, no, it's not that deep, dude. It's not that deep.
It's both sides. I don't get into all of that.
It's just
I'm over here like I just look at like the main issue that we have right now, because if we're trying to look at all that, then you have to go through all of history, then you have to find some sort of way to connect every single thing that you're talking about into somehow some sort of category, because everything right now you're just going based off some sort of conspiracy. There's nothing backing you up.
That's literally what's happening.
Nothing backing you up, bro. Like that's why I get so confused. I'm like, there's nothing backing you up, honestly. Like the Epstein files, like just because Epstein was a Jew, you think he's connected to the Jewish? Like that's why I get confused. I'm like, okay, how is he connected? And then people start talking about like, oh, the reason why they're eating like babies or something like that is because it's normal for that for them is because they don't touch like Jewish children. They only touch like anybody that's not Jewish. I'm like, okay. I'm like, we're getting into a place that I'm like, I don't know how far y'all are willing to take this.
I mean, you can't argue with either people on either side, because what America's doing right now is what Teddy Roosevelt did back in the day. We're just promoting global power because a lot of countries that people thought were threats aren't threats. And this is the second country in the world that we've shown the world that they weren't who they said they were.
Which I have a big issue as to why people are having a problem with that, especially when it's literally known that the U.S. is a powerhouse. That's why you don't fuck with the U.S.
We're a world power,
US,
yes.
And then when the U.S. literally shows a little small fraction of our power, like, okay, we can do this. And then we do it. The U.S. is breaking international laws. The U.S. is doing this. Trump's a terrorist. What? I'm so confused. Now when y'all finally see the U.S. actual power, all of a sudden, it's bad. Like what?
I think people don't understand the paths of diplomacy. Like, and it's because people are so close-minded here because they've never been around the world. They've never been to Iran. They've never been to the Straits of Hormuz. They've never been to Afghanistan. They've never been to Iraq. They've never been to these places. So they just believe what mainstream media tells them or what their fucking party is telling them. And it's like, dude, you have no right to say what anybody is doing over there. You don't have a right to say anything about it. Like, you have freedom of speech to talk about it, but don't talk about it in the context like you're a fucking subject matter expert. Even those fucking war college people, shut your ass up. Like, you're not over there dealing with the conflict. We tried for the last 47 years to be peaceful with a country that did not give a fuck and that was actively funding terrorists and then came out on a global stage and said they were funding terrorists. So this is
because 10 years ago, literally when I was I'm 20 at 18 years old, I literally remember someone literally saying that shit there, like, we've been trying for the last 30 years to make peace with these niggas. And when the U.S. finally does something, everybody wants to get mad. It's like, what?
It's just, I don't know. People are weird. Like, I think if you're not from the country that's directly getting affected by what we're doing, or you're not deployed or in the armed forces carrying out the mission that the president told them to do, then shut your fucking mouth. You have no clue what's going on.
The same way they got mad. The same way they over here they got mad when we captured the president of Venezuela. Even though what's going on in Venezuela with the cartel is literal proof that, yeah, the cartel has always been involved. And now that they're exposed to that.
It's not in Venezuela. You mean in Mexico?
Oh.
The cartel shit is happening in Mexico, not Venezuela.
Yeah, Mexico.
Nothing is happening in Venezuela. It's actually the peaceful as it's ever been. Nothing's happening over there. About to have their election.
So that means cartel just decided they're going to go to Mexico and terrorize Mexico.
They've been in Mexico. That's where, I don't think people understand. The cartel is not from fucking Venezuela. That is not why we invaded Venezuela. The cartel is not from Venezuela. That dude was openly supporting the cartel, giving them money and giving them drugs, but the cartel is not from Venezuela. The cartel is in Mexico. It has always been in Mexico. There's never been a single piece of the cartel in Venezuela. Matter of fact, if you watch Narcos or read any documentary about narcos or narco terrorism, all those dudes moved from Colombia and Venezuela to Mexico to become drug lords.
I forgot all about that documentary.
Because before the shit got corrupt, the president there, actually, the old dude there, before they found out that they could make money by, Before they found out that they could make money by influencing the government by selling drugs and shit.
Yeah.
Before they found that shit out, they actually used to enforce laws. Like, you couldn't traffic there. It used to be illegal as fuck. But then they found out, hey, oh my fucking God, I slid and missed. They were like, hey, we can make money doing this. And they were like, okay. And then once Noriega and them all start getting control of Venezuela and Colombia, and the government there starts sending them drugs and shit, that's when they became the cartel. But the cartel was never in those places.
Yeah, in Mexico.
They came from Mexico.
I still find that video funny of that girl saying that the cartel can beat the United States military.
I don't want to hear anybody can beat the United States anymore. We're literally beating Ukraine with a third, or not Ukraine, Iran with a third of the fucking Navy. And we haven't even used any other branch. I think yesterday, for the first time in like the whole time of this fucking conflict, they used the Air Force. And they're not even using the Air Force. They're using the Air Force that was already stationed over there.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, they're not even using the Air Force. I'm like, they were probably using the one station there.
They're not using they haven't used any, like, we haven't used anything that, like, we've used a fraction of the power that we have.
Very, very small fraction.
That's why when people are like, oh, Iran will outlast the United States, I'm like, bro, that's not even a third of the Navy over there, and they can't even handle that. Not to mention that they're fucking with whatchamacallit, the UAE, and now Saudi Arabia and all them are like, yeah, we're done.
And after that bombing, shit, so fucking stupid. Bombing their own fucking country. Bombing Dubai, that's crazy. You're bombing your own fucking country, bro.
It's because that dude doesn't know what he's doing. He's just doing shit to do shit.
That was so fucking stupid. And then after he died, everybody was celebrating Dubai. They were like, get that nigga out of here.
I mean,